Detroit. We are doing the Detroit Lions overview today. It is one of our personal favorite teams, just that we kind of root for. Me and Mark kind of have high hopes for these guys. Not saying we are Detroit Lions fans, but we do like, we just like their atmosphere, the team, just everything about them. We just
MCDC, heck of coach.
Yeah, like it's just like, everything about him. I just love watching him, just everything they have with Dan Campbell, and then with offensive coordinator Ben Johnson now. And Aaron Glenn is still there. So that's good. So yeah. And what's up, Teo? Hashtag Blitz Bama Blitz.
Bama Blitz.
It's dude, we'll talk about this defense, man. This is some nuts stuff. And with Gibbs there as well, it's just it's going to be an interesting running room for these guys. So first and foremost, the Lions, let's see, last season they went 1-6 through the first 8 weeks. So we're like, oh damn, here we go. The Lions are gonna suck, right?
Right.
But then they went on
to win 10 games. So I was so worried.
Yeah. Then they went on an eight game or 8 of the last 10 games, right?
They won 8 of the last 9.
So eventually they finished off at 9-8, which is like, holy crap! Like that hasn't happened in almost 5 years since they had a above average record. So the Lions went into the playoffs, and who'd they face off? Was it the Seahawks reaching post over? The Seahawks ended up going
but they knocked Green Bay out, so it was a win for them.
So I mean, it was they didn't make the playoffs. My bad. They had the chance. It was the Seahawks that went.
Mm-hmm.
However, that last final game against Green Bay was like their version of the playoffs, because you're right. They beat Green Bay. So it was like awesome sauce, you know what I mean?
And if Green Bay had won, they would have made the playoffs.
Exactly. So to keep them out of the playoffs is basically
it was their Super Bowl.
It was. I think everyone was celebrating. Everyone felt good about it. I felt good about it. Did I want the Lions to go and see what they would actually do in the playoffs? Absolutely. So anyways, last year, they offensively, they finished 4th amongst offensive ranks, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
if it wasn't for injuries, they could have been higher.
Oh yeah, I think so.
There was like a 2 to 3 week stretch where I feel like Jared Goff was like, I have nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah,
because like the top 4 receivers were all out.
Right. The issue there was they had no defense. Like it was probably the worst defense they've had throughout the entire league. So they struggled there. So the offense couldn't keep up. So Jared Goff surprised us all. Had an outstanding year. Jamal Williams led with 17 touchdowns.
Led the NFL, yep.
So overall, these guys had an amazing year and just kind of ended short. So just short of the playoffs. So, however, Williams is no longer there. He's now with the Saints, New Orleans Saints. So backing up, presumably Kamara if he plays. But we'll see how that runs for him. Good luck to him. He's no longer a Lion, and people in Detroit liked him. I liked him as a Lion too, but it was a 1-year deal, so it is what it is. During the offseason, what did they do? They brought in Montgomery, and we're going to talk about their first round draft pick here in a bit, and no longer have Swift, ironically, which is kind of the jersey I have right now, so which is weird. So also in offseason moves, CJ Gardner-Johnson is signed with the – go ahead, what?
Oh, no, I was just going to say Cameron Sutton too, but I was trying to wait for you to finish.
Okay, no, yeah, Cameron's, yeah. But they also, it was just a bunch of added people coming in from different places, losing Jeff Okuda as well to Atlanta. So it was it was it was still interesting because they're still having the effects of the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff trade that happened 2 years ago. So I think this now kind of evens out. I don't think it went past 2023. So I think the draft picks, everything affected up until now. So, and last and foremost, defensively, Aiden Hutchinson had 9.5 sacks as a rookie, which is good for him. I mean, we were thinking like, holy crap, this guy's going to be rookie MVP and whatnot. So, but yeah, go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay.
Like 9.5 sacks. He has a chance to improve on that, probably, especially with the help they got him.
Right.
Should be good.
Exactly. So, as I said before, the running back room did change. Obviously, Swift is no longer there. They traded him. And then things were, but before they traded him, read off what they did in the first round.
Yeah, so they originally had the Rams 6th pick, and they decided to trade that to the Cardinals and move back to the 12th. And I'm pretty sure we all had them penciled in like, oh, he's still there. You're getting Christian Gonzalez. They're going to help their secondary. Get the best corner. All right. Nope. They threw everyone for a loop and went Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama.
Yeah.
And as soon as they did that, we were all like, well, bye, Swift. Like, your replacement has been found. And they were celebrating like they won the Super Bowl when they got that pick, too.
Yeah,
like,
they did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the pick. I like the player. I just don't like the pick.
Too. Yeah, I like the player, but I felt like he was end of the first round kind of talent.
No, so do I. I agree with that.
But I mean, if he's your guy, he's your guy, I guess. I mean, I think they could have got him with the 18th pick, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think anybody was shopping a running back around that time. I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs could have been the 18th pick, and Christian Gonzalez could have been the 12th pick.
Right.
But
with the 18th pick, another kind of shocking pick because like we like this guy too, but we had him second round, late first round at the most.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting drafted 18th, the first linebacker, like inside linebacker or actual like legit like not edge rusher linebacker taken off the board. Jack Campbell, linebacker out of Iowa. So we had a bit of questions, but then I feel like after that they killed it after that because then you got number 30. Yeah. Oh yeah, then you got number with the 34th pick, also with that Arizona trade. They got Sam Laporta for a tight end out of Iowa, great pick, and then they got safety help with Brian Branch at Alabama with the 45th pick, and then they got Hendon Hooker to be their backup, maybe even future starting quarterback. So those picks were just, I was like, okay, well, they saved their draft with these 3 picks because.
Yeah, no, they had a really good draft in the first 5. It was amazing.
And then if Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs end up being as good as their draft positions say they are, this could be a really good draft 3-4 years from now.
Absolutely.
To round it out, we also got Broderick Martin, defensive tackle out of Western Kentucky, Colby Sorsdale, offensive lineman out of William & Mary, and then their last pick of the whole draft was Antone Green, wide receiver out of North Carolina.
Yeah, Antone Green should be a good filler for what they have. I think he's going to be he's a speed receiver, so I think he's going to be probably behind the alpha as like that 4th receiver, and then if one of these guys needs to be swapped in, he'll probably be the first one in. So, overall, it was a good draft. It was one of my favorite drafts. They hit everything they needed with really good players coming out of this draft. So it was like, this is a really good draft. Probably by far one of the best ones coming out in the first 3 rounds. So
I agree.
Yeah, I was excited for them. And, it was just like the defense already linebackers, I think they're decent enough and they're getting good, especially with Malcolm Rodriguez. So it's developing, is what I want to say. It's developing and it's getting there. And we've already seen some parts of it last year where it's like, okay, they shocked us with those last 8 runs, because there was a point where they were like, hey, listen, Dan Campbell, if you lose again, they're gonna fire you. They literally told him
when he was like 1-6, he was almost going to be the next coach fired.
Yeah, and then they went on that 8-game winning streak, and it was like, okay, and here he is sitting with the Lions again. Good for him, because I like that fit. He's a good motivator, and he knows what he's doing as from a coaching standpoint. He just needs his offense and defensive coordinators help him out.
Not just that, but like the coaches he has with him too. Like Mark Brunell's the quarterback coach. Aaron Glenn is the defense coordinator. Mm-hmm. It's like they got all these people who, like, I grew up watching when I was younger, and I was like, I need to have all that experience along with the motivation that Dan Campbell brings. You can see they're getting almost all they can out of these players.
Yeah, and they all love to play for him too. So,
I know, and
which is something you definitely want.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk about the offense first, as we usually do. So, ran by Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator. We have Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones. Looks like he's wearing the 00 or the 0 this year. I don't think the 00 is approved. I think it's just the single zeros, right?
Oh, I think it's both.
Is it both? Okay. Well, here I have 00. I don't know if it's going to be the single one. I feel like the single 0 is a cooler looking jersey than the double.
I agree.
Because then the double kind of reminds me of like old school jerseys, like when we were like in elementary. Do you remember those FUBU? Yeah. The FUBU jerseys? That's what reminds me of those, man. So
I also feel like the 00 is weird, because if you're gonna have 00, like where's 01, 02,
yeah, 03. Yeah. The 00 is cool though. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I like it, but on certain jerseys, like bright colored jerseys, I don't think it would look good. I think in more of a darker ones, like the gray colors and the dark home ones, would be like a better type of jersey. So, first time. So how you doing, Savor the Flavor? First time since early Stafford years, the Motor City Kitties have had any aspirations above not last.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, with the departure of Rodgers,
vision,
I can't even honestly remember the last time going into like in the offseason, going into the regular season, everyone was like, Detroit's going to win the division. Like, that's just not something that happens ever.
Absolutely, man. It's been crazy.
You got to do me a favor, though. You got to go check out Kimmy's every once in a while and check out that Detroit Lions fan that we saw that one day.
Oh, I love that guy, man.
I wonder how excited he is.
Bro.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Was that it was last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like before I left.
This was you know what? I think this was probably the first game of their winning streak, wasn't it? Where they went on a super losing streak.
Oh, I think it might have been the year before.
Was it? I don't know. I can't remember. But
they lost to the Cardinals. They beat the Cardinals?
They beat the Cardinals that day, because that's why we went to Kimmy's. So we went to this bar called Kimmy's, and there was the one Detroit Lion fan, just the one, and it was a bar full of Cardinals fans, right?
Oh yeah.
He had won, and I tell you, I left that up. I already went through the Savor the Flavors. I left that up because we're going to talk about Williams here in a minute. But welcome in, Lion King.
Yeah, welcome in.
We're talking about the Lions today, and I see Kadani's also here too.
Yep.
So what's up, guys?
What's up? Yeah.
But this Lions fan was so excited. I thought he was going to get punched in the face by some of these Cardinals fans, because he was so obnoxious. He had his arms up for like the longest
straight time. Up in the air,
just. But he had every right. The Lions just spanked the Cardinals. And it was just like, what in the hell is going on? Because this was I think it was the year where the Cardinals went on a 10-game win streak.
Yeah, that's why I said I think it was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, you're right. It was on a 10-game win streak, and the Lions were like the first ones to knock them off their streak or something like that. It was like, what the hell? So it was just so hilarious, man.
I just remember him sitting in the booth like this.
Yeah. 3:13 time zone, baby. NFC must go through. Yeah, exactly. So we're in all the time zones. Look, one of these episodes, we're gonna try and hit the East Coast guys, and I think we've agreed on doing a morning episode for the East Coasters. We're gonna do it. Which means I have to wake up and probably do a show at 5 a.m, but I'm okay with that. Well, okay, so let me go back to this one, right?
Let's get back to the offense.
And Kadania, I see you in here, man. I see you. Interested to see what Williams blows up. Not looking good for AK's case. Are you okay? I look at the roster and I'm thinking, because we're doing hold on, the receivers. I think Williams is going to be fine though. I don't think he's like.
Well, he's talking about
he's going to blow up as well.
But he's talking about Alvin Kamara's case. This is since Saints talk.
Oh yeah, you AK, yeah, Alvin Kamara. Yeah. Okay, yeah, early because I was talking about how Williams went. Okay, yeah. I think he's gonna be a touchdown machine.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be in the pylons. I think that's when Condre Miller's probably gonna be that. But yeah, so we were yeah. All right. See, this is why we go through order, and then I leave it. I saw Williams, and I thought he was talking about receiver or whatnot. So it's all good. My bad.
Because we talk about Jamal in the beginning.
Yeah. So I'm on St. Brown, Marvin Jones, and Josh Reynolds all here. So I think we which I don't see. Where do you have hold on, where do you have this? What do you have on yours? Do you have a depth chart up?
Yeah, I got it. I'm looking at it right now.
Mine's interesting and weird. What does yours say?
For the receivers, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown 1, Jamison Williams 2.
I don't even have Williams here.
Although he is suspended. And then I got Marvin Jones Jr. 3, Josh Reynolds 4, then Khalif Raymond 5.
I wonder because he's suspended for a little bit. I don't have it on this updated.
Yeah, it does say suspended on mine.
Oh, on yours? Okay. See, I don't have that on mine. Okay, all right. What do you have? A 3-4?
I have a 4-3.
You have a 4-3?
Yeah.
See, mine's even a 3-4. And it's interesting on here on they have a just you see that? Rush. Just rush. Not edge, not defensive end.
Yeah, just rush.
Rush. All right, Aiden, just go do your thing. Okay, so I'm looking at Williams and I'm trying to find. I'm like, hold on.
No, you have a 4-3 because you have two tackles.
Well, yeah,
or two.
But it's not designated that though. Like there's no like actual label. I see it now.
Yeah, because you have 3 linebackers and then you have two defensive tackles.
Yeah, so
that is a 4-3. It's just weirdly rush.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen this here on our lads.
So, anyways, that position rush.
Look, as for Jared Goff, I have high hopes for him again. I mean, he was a former first-round pick, did well for the Rams, had a couple struggling seasons, and I think that's when they shipped him off. Lions got him. Yeah, okay. And then last year it was just, all right, dude, this is your make or break. And he clearly put a name in for himself, and I think they're going to roll with him another year. I know a lot of people don't like him there. Brian, our other co-host included, doesn't like him.
I don't get it.
I think he's okay. I don't think he's going to be the best. If anything, he's going to be that prime Meridian, right?
Well, you say that, but yeah, he was in charge of the number 4 ranked offense last year.
No, I know. But it's like,
and like we said, that could have been even better had it not been for injuries for like a month, like 3 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, I just think that he's the worst. The worst he can do is the prime Meridian, which is like 15 or 16. Right?
Yeah, but I think he'll be. I honestly think he'll be a top 10 quarterback this year. I really do.
That's interesting to say. I don't know about that. I think he'll just be
382. For 587, 4,438 yards, and 29 touchdowns, so only 7 interceptions. 99.3 rating. Like, that's
Okay.
pretty solid.
I think he'll be just outside of that, but I wouldn't be surprised. If he is the top 10, I'd be like, okay, well, I can see it. I just don't like right now. My confidence issues with how injuries are gonna go is my main like
Yeah, no, and that's
worry.
justifiable. That is justifiable.
So
not so much for Goff, but for like the people around him.
No, and all these guys are known to get injured. Like Marvin
not
Jones
just that, but you
sometimes.
look in Jahmyr Gibbs coming into the NFL hurt, David Montgomery, injury issues. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, injury issues though.
Marvin Jones, Josh Rent, like these
Yep.
guys just get
Jamison
hurt.
Williams can't seem to stay on the field whether he's hurt or suspended.
They're the Niners of the NFC North, right? Like
Except for their quarterback position doesn't get hurt, just everything else.
You know, that's one thing Detroit has their quarterbacks are just tanks. Like
Right.
they just don't go down. Interested to see what Marvin Jones adds as a returning vet. I don't think he's gonna blow anyone away, but hopefully a solid secondary read. Dude, I think for Amon-Ra St. Brown, this is the best guy you bring into the locker room. Marvin Jones is he's been in the league for quite some time, and I think he's going to be a good mentor. They already played together at least a season, right? His rookie year before he went to Jacksonville, or am I wrong? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they were together on their rookie year.
Maybe. I can't remember.
I don't know. But either way, it doesn't matter because we're talking about this year, and this year I think he's going to be a great asset for that. So, would it be safe to say that Jared Goff is the best QB in that division, at least for this year?
Yeah, it'll be between him and Cousins, but I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he had the best year.
No, I don't think it's safe. I still think that Justin Fields is going to surprise a lot of people.
You'll have the best rushing stats. Not arguing there.
Yeah, but now I think I think I think the air is going to be a little bit more of a priority here with Chicago. Chicago's going to be the interesting one. Now, we did the Chicago Bears already, and we have them at 7 wins. And we also have the Lions just sweeping them. I think that's good. So, but stat-wise...
But that's more because we think the Lions' defense is better than Chicago's defense.
Oh, absolutely. This defense is nasty. This defense is going to definitely it's going to create some havoc for people. QBs and running backs in general. So, I still think it could have gone better. I still think Christian Gonzalez should be on this team. But that didn't go happen in the draft. So they went a different direction. So I can say he's going to contend with the number 2 with Kirk Cousins. Because I don't think Jordan Love is that guy. And then there's not enough. Like, there is a little bit of glimpse of what we saw with Jordan Love, but just I don't see that he's going to go in there and just ball out. And if he does, holy crap, next year is going to be quite the offseason talk with Jordan Love. But
how crazy would it be if we're talking about how bad this division is, but then what if, like, Fields balls out, Love balls out, Goff balls out, Cousins balls out, and you're like, oh, maybe this division isn't as bad as we thought it was.
Well, if Kirk balls out, then the Vikings probably want to keep him, right? I mean, I don't see them getting rid of him.
You say that, but really he balled out last year, and O'Connell was like trying to get rid of him. So he's practically begging to stay. Like, I don't want to go anywhere else. Keep me, please.
I don't know. It's look, it's a business at the end of the day, and new rookies are coming in all the time. What? So Savers telling Anta here, as of this moment, I'd say yes, but everyone will be throwing down week 1 to prove different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly think the Bears have a lot to prove. So I think they're done, being talked crap about. I think the Bears are really going to change it here this year, but we'll see. I mean, I could be terribly wrong about that.
I completely agree with you, Kadoni.
So one reason I say golf is the best in the division this year is because Mark said Detroit was 4th in offense. Yep. They have the best overall team because Minnesota released vets, Chicago's rebuilt, and golf was in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, to be honest, to be fair though, Martin is right.
I said
he did say it. He brought it up first. I just reiterated it. He
might not have been Mark here. Some credit. It's fine.
He might not have been here when you originally said it, and then I said it again. Okay. But yeah, Martin did say it. But Martin is 100% right though. It will come down to if these guys can stay healthy. Because you saw once they lost their top 3 to 4 receivers, just how horrible the offense ended up being.
Okay. I also disagree with what he said about Chicago, though. Yeah, they didn't really release a lot, but they also brought in so many.
No, he said Minnesota released vets.
Yeah, but Chicago's kind of they brought in a lot of vets.
Yeah, they did. But it takes time to gel as a unit, though. So
I understand.
So technically, he's not wrong. They are rebuilding, and they might not be a cohesive unit. It might take some time. Don't get me wrong. If they keep doing what they're doing next year, Chicago will be scary. I have no doubts in my mind how scary Chicago could be.
I think Chicago's going to be.
But even if you ask Brian, he still says they're a season away. Yeah, even he only had them winning 8 games, even though he got mad at me with 6. But
no, he got upset, and then I listened to his show on Tuesday, and
I did too.
He was still mad about it.
He was.
He was still mad about it. We're like, all right, whatever, dude. Because Chicago's. I don't look. Who cares? Okay, we're talking about the Lions today.
Yeah, let's get back to the Lions. Who
cares? I don't want.
So to me, it's this offensive line, man. You got Taylor Decker, Pro Bowler, Frank Ragnow, Pro Bowler, Penny Sewell, monster. You throw in, good Lord, I am not even trying to pronounce. Yeah, that guy. That first name is ridiculous.
No, you can skip that one.
And then Jonah Jackson. This offensive line is by far the best offensive line in the division, if not close to behind the Eagles, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's that good. And like we said before, if your offensive line isn't good, you're not going to win games. So they got that going for them.
Absolutely, especially a pocket passer like golf.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously they upgraded the tight end position by bringing in Sam Laporta. So they did get rid of Hawkinson, which I was kind of scratching my head when they did that, honestly.
Yeah, and then they traded him within the division.
They were 1-2-6 at the time. So I guess it kind of made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're 2-6. We're still. They're like, we don't know what we have. We're clearly not good. Let's ship some people out who are coming. All of a sudden, they just exploded, and they were like, "Oh, well, guess we could have kept Hawkinson."
Yeah,
they got Sam Laporta, who I think would be just as good, if not better. So,
which is crazy. Hawkinson was drafted not too long ago, too.
Yeah,
he was their first round draft pick. I was like, holy crap! Well, isn't it 2019?
Could be.
I think it was he wasn't there that long ago, so he was there maybe 3 years before. But
he's only 25.
It is what it is. He is now the Vikings, so it was a draft.
2016. No, that's
no.
2019. 2019.
Yeah,
sorry, 16 was his freshman year at Iowa.
Yeah, no, 19.
Oh,
yeah.
They got another Iowa tight end. That's hilarious.
Oh, they like their Iowa guys.
I just realized that because that's where Sam Laporta went, isn't it?
Yeah. I only have a certain amount of characters I can type on here. Otherwise, I would elaborate a little more. Just type in the gist of my opinion. Oh, that's fine. No, I get you.
We got you.
I understand your point and what you're saying. It's cool. But no, I truly believe that this team has something going for them, and it's slowly building. Their biggest. They're right now. I would say the Lions and the Chicago Bears are the ones that are fighting for number 1 for this division. Easy.
I would say that count out Minnesota just yet. I get it. They messed up defensively.
Oh, their defense sucks, man. Their defense sucks.
I get it. But even with his historically bad defense last year, they still won 12 games. They brought in Addison, who's going to be better than Thielen. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with the running game. So that's a bit of a knock.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think without Cook, with the questions of the running game, but the passing game, I still think they can win 9 games, which will put them right there in the running for the division.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't think I don't think they'll be that good, but I thought they were going to be absolute trash last year. So and they won 12 games. So
I'm gonna have to once we get to that episode, we'll probably look a little bit more. We got a few good handful of teams before we get to them. But this is why we do these episodes. Like usually that's when we do a little bit more investigating into the roster, and this is why we do these episodes. Not only because there's some people that probably don't even realize who their draft picks were, to be honest. Like it's just we just do these quick overview videos to see what they brought in as rookies,
right,
and how they fit. Really, to be honest,
it's a deep dive into the teams just to give people a better idea of maybe.
It's a deeper dive. I'm not saying a complete
No, I'm not saying like a complete deep, but it gives a good overview, and we bring up some players that might not typically get talked about in fantasy. Be like, hey, this guy might do something. That guy,
Yeah, especially for like IDP purposes,
right? Oh, especially IDP because that's what.
Yeah. So Savor the Flavor says Hawkinson drops critical downs and a bit too often. His blocking is rough for what he should be. Dan Campbell was an expert blocker, so I don't think he liked what he saw. And that's a possibility.
That is a possibility.
Dan Campbell was a tight end himself. That Hawk wanted to first start, and yeah. So
Lord knows he got it because Minnesota was like, "Hey, we got a tight end."
I think with this, is Sam Laporta is going to be molded into what Dan Campbell wants him to be.
Oh, I'm sure. And if anyone can do it, it's Dan Campbell. So,
well, he was a tight end himself.
Oh, I know.
That's the one spot he's definitely knows more than any other spot in the freaking offense or defense alone. So, but yeah, so let's talk about this defense. I'm not saying atrocious. I'm not saying as good. Like when I say nasty, I mean like it's good. Like this is one of those defense that I do not want to be a running back or a quarterback against. Aleem McNeil is I like him a lot. I think he's going to ball out again in right there in the middle, open it up for Aiden Hutchinson. Isaiah Buggs and John Kaminsky are on this side, but McNeil is like one of those underrated guys that people don't really know about. And in my opinion, I think he's probably one of the best defensive linemen in this division. So, and he's still young too. So, Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, and James Houston as their starting linebackers, backed up with Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, and Julian Okwara. Also great linebackers. Like they are not going to struggle at linebacker at all. Any one of these 6 guys can be productive. So I like, holy crap. They just acquired Emmanuel Mosley out of San Francisco, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, Cameron Sutton, and then CJ Gardner-Johnson from Philadelphia. So it's and then they drafted Brian Branch. So holy crap, like I don't know what negative parts I have here besides maybe outside of Isaiah Buggs and John Kaminsky. Because all these guys are all pretty good. I don't know how do you feel about these guys? Because I'm like, for IDP purpose, pick one.
Right.
So, I just pick one. Like, there's 2 defense I feel confident about.
I think
these guys
can. Yeah, if they can bring, like, I know Brian was talking about a couple people who are out there, but if like they bring in like Frank Clark for the other side of Aiden Hutchinson, look out of this defense. They are one edge rusher away from being, and maybe another corner.
Yeah, maybe another corner. I think I think that's kind of like their weaker
Is
spot,
it
but it's
Emmanuel
still
Mosley? I see Gardner Johnson's playing the nickel. That makes sense because I was trying to figure out why he was third on my depth chart because I was like so confused. I was like, "Are you going to go out and get this guy and then play him?"
yeah. This is why I kind of like this
Yeah, so
website. It
nickelback. So that makes
positions
sense.
them where
And I
they
didn't
are.
realize they got Cameron Sutton too. He came over from Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
So I like Cameron Sutton. I like CJ Blackstock. Maybe one more corner, but like if they brought in another marquee name on the alongside of Aiden Hutchinson, like no quarterbacks would have a chance.
Oh yeah.
Like it would be scary.
Just
How
throw them
good
on the
this
other
defense
side. I
could
think
be.
it's going to be nuts.
Because I think one of the bigger issues they had was last year was the linebackers. But like you said, with bringing in freaking
Jack Campbell and
yeah. And then hopefully Alex Anzalone can get back to the type of play that he's used to playing, along with Rodrigo. Like, oh, this defense is going to be nuts.
Yeah, I think Rodriguez is he's so good. And it's like,
well, that's weird. We have different linebackers.
What do you mean?
My linebackers are weak side is Malcolm Rodriguez, Antalone is in the middle, and then Campbell is on strong side.
Which is also a very possibility.
Yeah.
Like the first guy in is going to be Rodriguez, or because James Houston could sit down, but even then it's like this Derek, like here's what I think what's going to happen. I think they move Derek Barnes to where John Kaminsky's at as the other edge guy.
I have James Houston behind Hutchinson.
Okay. No, and that's
So I was thinking maybe if you put James Houston on. Oh, I also have Okawara as the other end.
Aquara, Romeo Aquara?
Yeah.
As the other, no, and see these guys play that edge type will linebacker.
Never mind. So, you have Romeo. Oh, never mind. They don't need that. They already have it between Houston and Romeo.
They have the spots. That's what I'm saying. I think
nuts.
Derek Barnes can even fill in that spot as well. Yeah. So honestly, I think defensively, starting wise, I think they're going to be fine.
And they're so young. Like Alex Anzalone, I think, is the oldest one on the defense.
Yeah, and he wasn't even like originally drafted by these guys. He came from New Orleans, so it's like crazy.
Him and Sutton are 28.
Mm-hmm. So here's like, I don't think they need to sign anybody because either one of these guys can go on the opposite.
Oh yeah, I completely take it back now that I'm looking at my depth chart and I see Romeo and like James Houston is down there. Like that's scary.
Yeah, I believe Romeo will probably fill in here.
Completely forgot that.
John Kaminsky or even Barnes. On yours, you said Houston's over here, right?
Yeah, Houston under Hutchinson. So
yeah,
because that gives them the ability to like rotate people, and it's like always going to have someone harassing them.
Oh, 100%.
The quarterback. And then you got Romeo's brother down here too, Julian. Jesus.
Yeah. No, look, just pick one. Just pick one. Like for IDP purposes, I don't think you could go wrong. So let's do our freaking segment. Who you taking? Who you gambling? And who you absolutely not taking?
Guess it's my turn to go first.
It is your turn to go first.
Out of everybody I see here, who am I absolutely taking? I'm taking Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay.
I think.
And we are doing this dynasty purposes, guys. Like
6'7", 264 pounds. He's only 22. Like you said, 9.5 sacks his rookie year. I think that just goes up from here. Like to me, this is a guy you get in, you put him at defensive line, you set it and forget it.
Yeah, and for IDP, if that's if you're not familiar with it, it's individual defensive. So it's like kind of like what we put it for fantasy football, like the offensive guys. This is like you literally have a lineman, linebacker, and corner and safety. It's a different part of the game that a lot of people just aren't familiar with, but we do that here on this show. So it will go on the tier. Yes, I think he's going to be A tier for sure. 100. I agree with you 100% on that one. He already put over 100 something points. So I'm like, did you realize Rodrigo was just under 100 points as well?
Was he?
Yeah, he hit 96 points on a single point.
I hated dropping him. But I had so many linebackers, and I had to choose. Ugh, it was rough.
Well, now in that league, someone dropped a Greenwall, so
That's true.
I still can't believe that, man.
That's true.
Dropped Greenwall, man. I don't understand.
So,
whatever. That's our league. Our league have some questionable guys. So anyways, no.
So taking is hands down could be Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay.
Gambling, I'm gonna say Jared Goff, just because I know what I'm gonna get first 2 years, but it's gonna be a gamble because long term, not 100% sure.
Okay.
He does have Hendon Hooker underneath him. We'll see what happens with that. This year, for sure, he'll be safe because I can't see Hendon Hooker really getting on the field this year. Not even if he gets healthy, I wouldn't intend to see Hendon Hooker on the field. But he is coming off a pretty nasty ACL injury, isn't it? Was it ACL?
Yeah.
But I just think Jared Goff, at least for 2 years, will be the man in Detroit. And me personally, I have him in Dynasty, and he's my only quarterback. I mean, I do have Kyler Murray, but God only knows what's happening there. It's not, and I'm not even trying to say that as a homer pick. I honestly believe he's set up for success for the next 2 years. Hopefully that translates to maybe because he's only he's not even 27?
Yeah,
28.
28.
He'll be 29.
Yeah, he's 28.
But as a quarterback, that's still young for a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
That's still 6-7 years he could still play.
Absolutely, yeah.
And not just play, but at a top tier level.
Surrounded by a young line too,
right? A young line and young receivers. Honestly, that's why my gamble is Jared Goff. The person I'm absolutely not taking, man, it's kind of hard, honestly.
Right?
I guess I'll go Brock Wright, just because he's listed as the starting tight end right now, but I just know that's not going to happen.
That's interesting. He's listed as backup to me.
Yeah, I have him as the starter.
Okay.
All right. I have a feeling Sam Laporta, he'll be lucky if he even makes it week 1 as the starter.
Okay. That's not a bad take.
There really is not a lot of people I wouldn't take on this team, honestly.
No, it's a solid team. This is why I don't like
you'd have to go to a third string. I definitely wouldn't take that guy just because I don't think he's going to get on the field.
Yeah. This is why I'm glad Brian's he's at work during this episode.
Right.
Because, we love Brian. But he absolutely hates the Lions. With a passion. It seems like more than he did the Packers, but it's just look, they're doing things and they're making it happen. I really want them to succeed so everyone can stop doubting them because we've been doing it for how many years? And it's just, they're like, oh yeah, Lions are going to line. That's what Brian's quote right there. Lions are going to
I mean, it has been 32 years since they won the playoff game.
But I wish that can come to an end. I want that come to an end.
It'll be 33 by the time the playoffs start this upcoming year.
Yeah. So, so you said you're not taking Brock Wright, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The guy that I'm actually going to go hands down and take 100% is Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I understand he's a rookie, but for dynasty purpose, I think this team likes what they see in him. They didn't just get him for their very first pick at the 12 for someone they're not going to invest on. So my absolute pick here is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, he's probably going to split time with David Montgomery the first year, but I think eventually we're going to see more Gibbs. Probably the following season, possibly, depending on how Montgomery's, health is. Who knows if he's going to be there, but that's next year. And the guy I'm gambling on is Jameson Williams. I understand he's suspended, but it's for Dynasty, he's still a valuable asset. like I said, it's a gamble because we don't know what's going to happen if he comes back and he just takes over. But I'm willing to take that gamble, and I'm willing to put what I saw in college and put what I out of the little bit that I saw last year and put it into play. So I'll take that as my gamble. And as for the guy that I just won't touch, there's not a lot really.
Starters. I was looking at it and I was just like, I was gonna say maybe Hendon Hooker, but even then, I don't know. I might take him too.
Yeah, you might want to take him too.
He might not be a bad take and stash kind of guy, you know.
I guess
squad him for the 2 years, and then maybe he's the starter. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess I can either say Marvin Jones, even though I know he's going to be productive this year, but
the
age I think is going to be the thing. But that's kind of like the obvious one here. So
yeah, that's why I was thinking him too, but I was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, and I'm kind of shocked that like my main absolute take would be Amon-Ra, but I feel like that's also another obvious one. So
that's why I didn't take that one either.
No, yeah, and that's yeah, we don't want to go with too much.
Plus, I want to spread some here. IDP love.
No, yeah, you and IDP a little bit more today than normally. I'm the one who goes IDP, so that's good. We little change here. So all right, so that's the depth chart. Really stacked. Got some depth. The defense is brutal. In a good way. They're going to disrupt a lot of offensives, and I expect great things from them, to be honest. So let's talk about their schedule. Let's talk about what we really think. I don't have mine up just yet, but I will here in a second.
You want me to go over it then?
Yeah, go over it.
All right. So, Lions schedule. Starts off with a bang. Very first game of the year. Thursday Night Football on NBC. Should be a good game. We'll definitely see what they're made of right away.
Yeah.
And then they go home to face the Seattle Seahawks. Then they stay home for the Atlanta Falcons. Then they go to Green Bay for a Thursday night game against the Packers. Then they come back home to play the Carolina Panthers. And then we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Then they go to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Then we got a home game against the Las Vegas Raiders. And then they have a decent bye at 9. It's a little bit early, but at least it's not early.
Before you go, though, Saver says that the Week 1 Chiefs is going to see if that fire's still there, basically.
Right? That's what I was saying. We'll see. We'll definitely see what this team is made of after Week 1.
I hope they give Kansas City a run for their money.
That's what I'm saying. If they compete in that game and it's a fairly close game, I'll be like, this team has potential.
And guys, they lost a lot of games by just a field goal.
Oh, a lot, especially 2 years ago too.
Just
7 or 8. Yeah. So if they compete against the Chiefs and it's a good game, I'll have high hopes. If they get completely blown out, I'll be like, all right, guys, you need to get yourselves together here. Be a little worried.
So do we, Savor the Flavor. So do we.
Right. And then we go. Yeah. So then after the bye week, they head to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Then they head home to play Brian's Chicago Bears. And then they stay home against the Green Bay Packers. And they travel to New Orleans to play the Saints. Then they head to Chicago. So they play Chicago within 4 weeks twice. And then they're at home for the Broncos. And they travel to Minnesota to play the Vikings. And then Monday Night Football, they're playing in Dallas. Hopefully they cream them. And then you got the Minnesota Vikings at home for the last week of the season.
That was such a biased answer there.
It was biased, wasn't it?
It was.
I gotta, put on more, I guess, for my team. I'm losing my Washington card, okay?
He's not even here. I wish he was.
I know he's not, right?
So yeah, Saints Jamal. Yes, it will be. I really hope they stuff him. I do. I really hope they do.
Right.
If Aiden Hutchinson can stuff him, then that'd be great. I would love to see that. Double Vikings game at the end. No, so a lot of these, I was going to mention, now that you bring that, a lot of these teams are divisional games at the end. You got double freaking Chicago Bears here, like within like 3 games apart. And then so Chicago, Green Bay, that's division. Then you got the Saints, but they got faced Jamal Williams, and then they got another divisional game here at week 14.
Right.
Then they get a break from the division. Then they go division, break in the division. So it's a lot of division games here at the end.
Well, I know the last week is basically a tradition now where it's division.
A lot of these teams, right? So,
I don't know. It's crazy.
No, so I think that's what the NFL try to do, just to make the back end of the season a little bit more exciting for the fans.
Well, yeah, because a lot of times divisions will come down to that last game, and then bam, they'll go head to head. So I get it.
So and for those who probably don't do fantasy football or whatever, and that's fine. It's I think it brings a little bit more excitement too, because at the beginning it's like I think they have like 1 or 2, or maybe there's some divisions that play like 2 teams at the beginning, and then it's like at the end they kind of like weed everyone back into the division. So, all right. I think they're going to do good. And a lot of it's going to have to do, like, this might be, like, my record that I'm going to say now, I'm not going to be confident in what they're going to do, because they can either outdo what I think they're going to do or underperform. Because I really think that this team is talented, and I really think that they could probably compete with a lot of these teams. Like, if they lose by a field goal to Kansas City, and the score is like, I don't know, freaking 28-31 or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like the win total I just came up with.
So, all right, well, hold your thoughts. I'm going to come up with mine.
Yeah, I was just going over it right now, and I'm like, how many wins did I just say the Lions are going to have? I was like, I don't know if I'm confident in
it's
10 last
going to
year,
be
and everyone
interesting.
about lost their minds. Remember freaking Tank and Brian? There ain't no way the Lions are winning 10 games.
I have 11, Mark.
Bro, I have 12.
I have 11 wins here.
I have 12.
I think they can do it, man. I really think they could do it. They surprised me last year.
Oh, look, and he says 13 wins if I'm deep in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, well, hey, we're all drinking the Kool-Aid, my friend.
I have 12. I wouldn't be shocked if it's 13, to be honest.
Braden, there he is. Let me get this. So, Chargers after the bye week will be another prove-it game for the Lions.
Yep,
Broncos
that is.
Russell Wilson is also, yes.
And I actually have them losing that game.
I don't
away game.
I don't think the Broncos are going to be as washed. I really think it was a lot of it Daniel Hackett that was bringing that team down. So we'll see. All right. So Braden, welcome in.
Well, 9.5.
Probably watching the whole time, but thank you again, as always, coming in clutch. The over/under is 9.5.
They're favored for the Packers in Green Bay. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're favored Seattle negative.
Panthers
so minus
Bucks,
2.5.
Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears, Broncos, Vikings. That's nuts. That right there is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games they're favored in. Good Lord.
I have 11. You have 12, and Saver has 13. Look. Like, what? Okay, if Brian was watching this, what do you think, Braden? What do you think Brian would probably give these guys?
You know what's funny? All these games. Well, no, I had them lose. I have them splitting with the Bears. Actually, I'm sure Brian will enjoy that.
Oh no, absolutely. I think they're gonna sweep them.
The only difference we had. Oh, they have the. Oh yeah, I had them beating the Broncos. The only difference we have is they have the Bears twice. I have them beating Cowboys.
Okay.
It's the end of the year. The Cowboys. We'll see if the Cowboys or the Lions. We'll see which one.
I feel like the Cowboys struggle in the middle, and then kind of pick themselves back up towards the end. Brian would say 7, and
the Lions are gonna lion
and say that stupid saying that he always says all the time.
Yep.
I really hope that the Lions just sweep. Look, here's the thing. The Lions swept the Bears last year, didn't they?
I believe so.
So Ryan doesn't really have a
wins.
lot to say, but yeah, he still argues that the Lions are going to line. But yet, here you are sitting at a team that they just got swept. So, hey,
there you go.
Who had a stronger chance last year, the Lions or the Bears? 100% the Lions.
So he's saying losses are Chiefs, Ravens, Cowboys, and then 1 or 2 surprises in the division.
So
he hasn't beaten the Chargers.
I agree.
I mean, that's true. I guess even though it is in LA, it'll probably be a Lions crowd because they can never have they have no home field advantage for the Chargers.
Yeah. So, I know I just got another update from Sleeper, but it was the Malcolm Rodriguez one. So, look, they're doing OTAs, and I think they're being really smart about what they're doing. As a matter of fact, they came out just before we started the show. There's a lot of handful of guys that are sitting out during OTAs so they don't get injured. The injuries aren't serious, but also it's like I think they're being smart with their guys. Like if they don't want to play him, like one of them is Malcolm Rodriguez. I think they really want him to be involved. And if you say that according to your depth chart, he's one of the linebackers there, I think it's going to be Anzalone, Campbell, and Rodrigo. So I think he forgets it's under new management now that Shayla Forman is not the same old Lions.
It's not. It really isn't.
It's not. Like me and Braden were on. We've been I can't say we've been on the bandwagon because I felt like we jumped on the Lions. What, Braden? What do you say? 2 years ago, and we kind of said, "Hey, watch out for the Lions. They're going to do something."
Watching them play 2 years ago, you would see. Yes, it sucked because they lost 7 one-possession games.
They lost a lot of games, but
they were in those games, and you saw the way the players were responding to Dan Campbell, and you kind of felt maybe there was a turnaround. That's why I didn't feel outrageous saying last year they were going to win 10 games.
No,
Brian and Tank tried to laugh me off the stage.
I was shocked at your number.
You said 8, I think.
I did say 8, which is still a lot compared to what they thought I was going to be.
And then our average was 9, and they got 9 because we're that good.
Yeah. So you say 12, I say 11. So we're gonna go to our sheet here, as we always do. And at the end of season 2 years ago, they showed some potential in pretty much everything Mark is saying. Yeah, no. Me and Braden were probably the first ones who watch out for the Lions. They're gonna do something, and I think this is gonna be one of those years. Has been way more involved and invested into the Martha and Henry Clay. Canned Quinn and Patricia after the embarrassed Thanksgiving spanking, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think that they're just tired of being that team. And I think that the Bears were almost in that situation. And I think both of these teams are going to be the 1 and 2 for next handful of years. They're going to be, I think, the Vikings have to fix that defense overall. The Packers, who freaking knows, man? Who knows? I don't know. They don't even know how to draft. So let's put it that way. But let's go to our chart that we always bring up. Our chart that we put our wins.
Also, want to say the Thanksgiving lineup is looking freaking amazing. Yeah, Packers, Lions, Commanders, Cowboys. Rivalry upon rivalry.
Yeah,
I don't know what the late game is though.
All right, so
what is the late game?
Here we are with what do we say? 11? No, 11 and a half, right? 11 and a half. Because you have 12, right?
Yeah, so it'll be 11 and a half.
All right. So we're creating this. Obviously, we're already building NFC North right here in the middle. We're probably going to put them there. But
49ers Seahawks is the late game. All right. Those are 3 good games.
49ers Seahawks for what week?
Thanksgiving. So it's
really?
It's Packers, Lions, Commanders, Cowboys, 49ers, Seahawks.
Oh, that is a nice day.
They decided to go division rivalry day.
Hey, that's a nice day.
That's what I said. I was like, those are all pretty good games too. I think.
I agree. All right. This is our second highest team, Mark.
It is.
This is our second highest team. Holy crap. We got the Eagles here at 14, the Seahawks here at 10, or no, the Lions here at 11.5, and then the Seahawks at 10. Wow.
Hey, it's a wide open NFC. To say the Lions could finish second in the NFC is not outrageous.
This is it's turning out to be quite the chart here. We're going to eventually turn this into a preseason playoff bracket
episode.
Yeah, because Mark came up with the idea,
Yep.
hey, we're doing all of these, numbers and coming out with their wins.
Right.
Let's just use these numbers in the previous, episodes, and let's just make our own. Dude, this is going to be interesting at the end of after we get all 32 teams done.
Right? I'm excited, honestly.
I mean, obviously, no one in the AFC South is going except maybe the Jags, because we're sitting at 4.5 at the highest.
I know the Jags are going to be at least favored in 6 games.
They're going to be up there. So,
hey, you just win your division games, Jacksonville. You're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Tomorrow. Oh crap! Damn it! Tomorrow we're doing the Packers. All right.
All right. Well, I guess I got to work on that North thing.
Yeah, I'll have to bring them in, man. I was hoping the Packers were going to be later, but
nope, they're tomorrow. Should have been the Jets, but they did that weird, funky trade where they flopped.
They did. So, guys, we're going by draft order. The way the draft came out, that way it's just random every year. We're just keep it all over the place and hit all places of the map. So, we're doing it Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Individual teams, and Wednesdays is our regular shenanigan.
Hey, the Seahawks aren't too far behind the Lions.
Say what?
So the Seahawks aren't too far behind the Lions.
No, that's what I said. We have them at 10. I wonder, do you listen sometimes?
Man, the NFC is looking better than the AFC, although we haven't got to the good AFC teams, but
selective hearing, I tell you. All right.
Yeah. I think the top 5 teams are in the NFC.
Yes. Yeah. We haven't done a lot of the AFCs yet.
No, I know we haven't done any of the good
it
ones.
just seems a lot of it's kind of like the way AFC was overpowered last year, so I feel like they're kind of be at the end. So right now we're getting into the NFC, so yeah, this is why I kind of makes sense. But tomorrow, if you want, say hi and then dip off. It's I don't care. We're doing the Packers tomorrow, so hopefully we get some Packers. Lion King, thank you for coming in. Not too sure if I've seen that name before, but again, we're close to 300 subs, and
jersey.
It could be a jersey of your choice with the number
Detroit
4.
Lions.
This is Dynasty
Detroit
Byline.
Lions.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's it, guys. See you tomorrow for the Packers show. That one should be interesting. Other than that, anything else, Mark, before we head out?
I just don't ever thought in a million years, even like 2 years ago, I don't think I would have been like 12 wins for the Lions in 2 years. Like, it's a weird time to be in football.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I kind of saw it coming. They were making the right moves. Not like, I don't know. We'll see. I know me and Brandon were kind of high on them, and everyone was kind of like, I don't know. You definitely jumped on that wagon last year for sure, so now you're with us. We just need to get Brian in there, but I don't think...
That's never going to happen.
No, I don't
we should get Brian on tomorrow's show and to be like, well, the Packers are going to beat the Bears twice. And just see what he says. He's just going to walk off, which I'm out.
I don't know because like he told us if it's in one of the afternoon shows where he's like home, because right now we're getting to the point where, because what time is it over there? 3 now, and he said he gets
4.
home like around 5, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I have a feeling he's gonna join us probably for the Commanders.
I don't want him on that one.
I'm sorry. He's
He's very bipolar. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to get. One day we're trash. The next day we're really good. I can't keep up with it.
Thanks for the content. Yeah.
Thank you for checking us out, man.
Yeah, he's been here before. I recognize his name. I think you probably don't. He's usually here Sundays, I think.
Is that what it is? Okay. It sounded kind of familiar, but I wasn't 100% sure.
No, I recognize him 100%. So yeah. If you can come in for the Packers, then yeah, if you want, say what's up. You can trash talk all they want. Look,
Yeah.
I can't control what you guys say. That's fine. I don't. As long as you're here. All right. Anyways, we'll see you tomorrow, and getting that jersey giveaway. We'll be doing it here soon. I think we're at 11 so far, maybe 10. I'm not too sure how close we are, but it's coming. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Talk and break down the Packers. Later, guys.
Yep. Later.
Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate.